J-Kline,
J-Kline,
the mastermind.
the mastermind.
Would you ever change your name?
Would I ever change my name?
Yeah.
Probably not. Cause like now I've already done created a whole brand, a whole a figure.
But when you blow up,
it's J-Kline, baby.
the mastermind, when you're at millions, they'll follow you regardless.
Maybe I can create some type of persona. Maybe that'll be my alter ego, the mastermind.
Like how Mac Miller had that one alter ego. Larry Fisherman.
Yeah.
And he was like in a totally different voice and everything.
Yeah.
And he was wild.
Yeah.
J-Kline, the mastermind. Well, what up, dog, man? Thanks for coming.
I'm so grateful to be here. I'm happy to be here. I got a lot of love for you. I appreciate you, not just as a person, but just what you've done with this platform, using your voice, just trying to make a difference, inspire people, reach people. I mean, I can't help but to love and appreciate that. Plus, you're a dope person, man. So it's big love over here for you.
Thanks, dog.
Yeah.
Thanks, dog. And you got the podcast, too. You can plug that real quick.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is it?
I got the podcast as well. Two Addicts and a Moron. We just shot our second episode last week, shooting our third one later today.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm podcast heavy today.
The feature and the host, the guest and the host.
It's crazy, but that's going well. Also got the merch going off. J-Kline, this is Redemption. Album coming soon, the Redemption tape. I'm about to drop the music video for my next single, Come Home. Also working on my follow-up single, which is called Chains. Some of y'all may have seen the clip that I posted on that for the little promo video I did. That went crazy. Just a lot of things going on right now. A lot of big things. A lot of big things.
And unexpected, too, because I only know you sober.
Right.
I don't know where you come from. I know you're from Michigan. Where at in Michigan?
I'm from a place called Battle Creek, Michigan. It's also known as Cereal City.
It just sounds intense. I'm going to be honest.
Bro,
Battle Creek?
Battle Creek.
Yeah. I'm assuming it is just like what I think it is.
Yeah. Nothing nice. Nothing nice. Unless you like cereal. My town is known for cereal. If you look on like a thing of Rice Krispie treats or some Fruit Loops.
It's Battle Creek.
That's what we're known for.
Really?
That's where Kellogg's and
General Mills and all that.
Well, not General Mills. That's Minnesota, but Kellogg's and Post. Yeah, I'm a cereal expert.
Yeah.
No, it's Kellogg's and Post. They were founded, and cereal was invented in my hometown. That's what we're known for. The Cereal City. So,
which is crazy because like, what else goes with cereal besides milk?
Right.
Like, who would have thought like, let's take a hard and a soft and put it together.
Right. Well, in my hometown, you know what goes with cereal? Dope.
Okay.
Dope.
There's the battle.
That's the real battle.
Yeah. If you look closely after creek, it says water, creek water for the heroin.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what was it like for you in Battle Creek?
It was interesting. Like a lot of Midwest towns, for anyone that's familiar with like the history of like the Midwest, we're really blessed here in Austin because we have so many different industries. Like you can move to Austin and get a job right away. I can quit my job right now and have a job probably 3 hours later.
Yeah.
There's just so much opportunity here. Whereas in the Midwest, particularly in my hometown, surrounding cities, towns, we're led by basically one industry. And whenever you centralize your economy around one industry, when that industry either outsources their jobs or downsizes or lays off or goes out of business,
the door shuts.
Yeah. And then what happens? Well, poverty increases, crime increases, drug use increases, depression increases. I mean, it's just like a ripple effect. So my hometown kind of experienced a lot of that. We all heard about Detroit. Well, my hometown, Battle Creek, is like it's basically like baby Detroit.
How far is it from Detroit?
About 2.5 hours southwest.
Okay.
And so our town as well went through the outsourcing thing. Kellogg's wanted to outsource a lot of their jobs to Mexico and things like that. My city had to basically fight them to keep them there because they were about to pack the whole operation.
Really?
Move. Yeah, and if they would have did that, the town would have collapsed.
Yeah.
So they had to fight just to keep them there. But as far as growing up there, it was cool growing up. And like during the mid 90s, I'm a 90s baby, born in 91. Growing up in the 90s, it was real cool. It was decent. It was a nice life. I grew up with a single mom, who's in recovery. She's been sober since 1989. Word.
Good for her.
Yeah. She met my stepdad in AA.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My real father, my biological father, heroin addict. So I'm just a literal product of addiction and recovery.
Is your father sober?
Well, he actually passed away in 2001.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. We didn't have like the greatest relationship, obviously, because he was either in and out of prison or in and out of jail, or treatment or addiction. So I didn't have like the greatest relationship with him. However, my mom did supplement that and step up, and
right.
I almost didn't really need a dad, to be honest.
Yeah.
So she did a great job. I didn't grow up around drugs growing up.
No, especially if your mom was
right.
Sober already.
I grew up going to AA meetings.
Yeah.
As a young kid, I walk in there. They got old timers smoking cigarettes, and up there they play euchre. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the card game euchre.
No idea.
That's what they do at the clubs up there.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of card games going on. Back then you could smoke cigarettes. I'm in there. I got the little root beer can. I'm vibing. I'm vibing in the AA at 6-7 years old. And then I guess there was a little foreshadowing there. I never knew that I would come back years later as a...
Did you think that as a kid? Were you like, it's almost normalized, right? You don't even know, like, it's an option. You think it's just a part of it, right? This is something that's here for people. Did you think that, like, one day, oh man, maybe I might be in here, not even really knowing like the consequences that would have to happen first to end up there, but since it's so familiar and you're so impressionable at 6 and 7, your mom's going to it, you love your mom, you look up to your mom. Did you ever think like, this is going to be my spot one day? Honestly,
never. Honestly, I was dead set on not drinking, not smoking, doing any substance. Like, I thought I was going to live a clean and serene life.
Because of what? Because you saw all these clean people? Or just like, you just had no interest in...
I just had no interest in it. I thought it was bad. I thought it was, that's wrong to do. That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know exactly where the tide started to turn, or the wheel started to turn, like probably in high school. I think where it ultimately began, like sophomore year, getting invited to parties. Growing up, there was a lot of mixed feelings of like feeling out of place.
Yeah.
Trying to find my connection. I always felt very misunderstood as a child. And I always gravitated trying to get attention and acceptance and love from people. I got a lot of love from my family, my mom, but I was like, you know what? That's like default love. Like, I'm your son, you have to love me. I want love from people that don't know me.
Right. They can make the choice.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Not saying that parents choose to love or not love, because that does happen, right? But as a kid, you're like, yeah, you're my mama bear, and I'm your cub.
Yeah.
It's expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great and all, but I want love from everybody, And so like I would act out, and growing up as a kid, I'm constantly in school detention or out of school suspension, like and then so when I got into sophomore year, especially in high school, there's already that teenage angst, and it's just everything that comes with being a teenager.
Right.
I didn't really have like a clique per se. Like, I would kind of just like float around from groups. I'd be with the, you can't really pinpoint a group. I'm floating around. And I thought that was cool, but it's like, even though I could float around from each group, there was still like that disconnect because I wasn't fully embraced or fully accepted. I got a glimpse. I was just let in just enough to be noticed, but not enough to feel loved and accepted and a part of something. So when I started getting invited to these parties, it was like, okay, yes, now I feel important. Now I feel wanted. Now I'm being invited. This means something. So I go to these parties,
which is a big deal,
right?
Being invited. Hey, Jacob.
What? This is my moment. I've been waiting for this my whole life.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I will go.
Yeah. Where's it at?
I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up. Like, yes. And I get there, and man, I'll never forget the first time. Like, ugh. Burnett's vodka, for anyone that knows, back in the sour apple. Gross.
Okay.
Threw up very bad. Like, I was like, dude, I am never drinking again. Yeah. That shit sucks. Like, but the weed, that was my thing. Mm-hmm. I found like, okay, yeah, this is cool. You know, plus I was already a hip hop fan as it was, and I'm not blaming hip hop for anything. Because I've been listening to hip hop since I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
and drugs have been in music for decades.
Right. It's not genre specific.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of my favorite rappers, you know, blazing weed. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get sick to have to party. I don't want to have to throw up and have the spins. That's not fun to me.
Right.
And it tastes nasty anyway.
It does.
It does.
Just like alcohol in general. I mean,
gross.
I was never a fan. I don't care what you put in front of me.
Right.
I would try to enjoy it, and my friends would be around. Be like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Mm-mm. But when I got that weed, it was like, okay, I can just vibe and chill.
Yep.
And then there's like, I don't know, there's like a weird camaraderie with people that smoke. You know, you do it in a circle. You know, it's very like, I don't know if it's ritualistic, but there's a lot of like subtle rituals to it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you got the accessories and, you know, all that stuff that comes with it. So that's what I began to do. And then I start building up this following now, or not following, but, you know, a presence, I guess, because now I'm showing up to these parties, and people are starting to notice me. First it was like, what's this kid doing here? Yeah. Now it's like, hey, where's he at? Oh, hey, come on, you coming tonight? We're gonna be on campus. You know, I'm 16 years old. We're about to go hit campus, one of the universities in my hometown, Western Michigan University, big party school. Mm-hmm. We would go there on the weekends, and, you know, just trying to live that party life. Then junior year, I was like, you know what? Let me start selling weed.
Damn, that quick, huh?
Yeah, I was like, you know, like, yeah, I was like, let's start selling.
Word.
And
just like, okay, why though? Was it to support your habit? Was it
honestly, if I'm being totally honest, I started to begin fantasizing and wanting to take on like that drug dealer persona, the notoriety
that comes with it.
I got it. What you need, I got it. Yeah, I'm the guy.
You went from, hey, I need y'all's acceptance, to while I'm being invited, to now you have to hit me up.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. And the high school I went to, it was kind of a ritzy, you know, country club-esque high school. Like, okay. it was a well-off high school. That's not my background. I come from a middle-class family, but which also made the acceptance thing really difficult, because it's like, sure, you know, the demographic situation was, you know, made the acceptance thing a lot harder. Yeah. And then so when I'm fully embraced by these people who have lake houses,
right,
and I'm from like 15 minutes opposite direction, oh yeah, now I feel really special.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people didn't have connections to get the weed. So now I really am
the guy.
Yeah.
Who you've always wanted to be.
I've been waiting on this my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, this is my moment. Mm-hmm. This is my moment. So now I'm pulling up, and I got the weed. I got quarter pounds in the trunk. Like, yep. What am I doing? What am I doing? On the surface, I'm thinking this is cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is I'm the shit.
Yeah.
But bro, that was dumb. Like.
Yeah. Well, selling drugs illegally is not anything to get involved with. It's not the smartest thing to do. You're constantly doing an illegal act,
especially when my hometown was like 70,000 people on a good year. Mm-hmm. The high school I went to was, like I said, about 15 minutes across town. It was in like this community, like a lake community. So it's a smaller community, so therefore everyone knows everything. You have one police force with like 3 officers, and it's not a big area, so it's like you can only travel up and down that highway so many times before it's like, oh, this car's been passed by 5, you know, and teachers and parents are talking, and, you know, like, it's kind of hard to keep a secret in a village community of 1,500 people. So, luckily I never got caught, but however, eventually the drug dealing thing did not last long.
Okay.
Because eventually I wanted to start using more. And then, you know, other people start doing their thing and I start falling back, and then I start worrying about getting caught. So I was like, you know what? This is too much stress, too much worry. I don't need all that. I'd rather just go to parties. You know, if they want it, I'll still get it for them. But I'm just gonna be present here at the party. I don't need to do all that. It wasn't until like senior year of high school that's when things really started to like really kick off addiction wise.
Okay.
Now going into my senior year, I had a lot of fun. Like my junior year and that summer, like I'm having the time of my life. Like literally the time of my life. Like I finally have reached this level of acceptance. I'm building these friendships that I think are concrete, they're solid, like friends for life. And then senior year happens and it's like all this uncertainty and fear because, you know, coming here in about 6-7 months, we're all going to be going away. And then I got people telling me that these friends I've made, you're probably never going to talk or see to these people again. And I'm like, yeah, right. You don't understand. Like, these are my friends. We're going to stay friends for life.
Yeah.
Like one thing I'm really big on is loyalty and like friendship and connection. And so like, I'm having these fun times at parties. I'm making all these memories. I'm living for these memories. These memories we are creating is meaning everything to me. And I'm sharing them with all these people that I've been longing to have friendships with. And now it's like, oh, so this is going to come to an end soon. And it was a lot of fear and uncertainty and worry. And plus, as I'm starting to party more and more, my grades are not the best.
Right.
I'm not failing, but I'm not going to go to
I'm not going to college.
I'm not going to University of Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Western Michigan University.
Right.
I'm going to go to a community college.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to a community college.
Did you want to go to college?
I did, but like I also wanted to party. Yeah. So
was it one of those things that, okay, I probably should because I think that college leads to a better life, but no actual understanding of that. Just, I think I need to. Yeah. And so you don't really care.
I don't really care. And plus, like, come my senior year, I wasn't just partying on the weekends anymore. I'm now partying on school nights, and I'm waking up, going to school hungover.
Yes. I get that. Dude, when my high school class picked up their diploma, I picked up 6 months of sobriety. You know, like I was already on the very bottom and trying to climb back up. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Staying up late on school nights, fucking rain at night. Dude, like I would walk about 2.5 miles just to smoke like 2 bowls of someone else's weed. Yeah. You know, and I'd just be waiting for them. But it brought me something that like no friend did. No level of acceptance did. Like the drugs did something for me that I couldn't get anywhere else. Right. You know what I mean? You
could always count on that. Always. The feeling, you know what the feeling was going to produce. Yeah. You know what to expect with that. So there was a comfortability factor with it. Yep. You know, I 6:30 in the morning before school, I got an apple loaded up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, what? Oh, dude, I've done lines on my school bus before. Yeah. Yeah, and then I thought I was going to die. Yeah. And my buddy Lee, he's like, chill the fuck out, because I got it from him. Yeah. And he can't have me OD on the bus. Yeah. And he was like, smoke this cigarette. Yeah. On the bus. He's like, smoke this cigarette. And I was like, okay. So, yeah, turning up before school, during school, after school. Oh, yeah. No worry about nothing except for getting high. I get it. Yeah. So it's about, by this time, I'm just smoking, drinking here and there. So I guess it's maybe 3 months into my senior year, it's when I start branching out. I meet this guy who moves to our high school, and this guy moves here, and it was like his main mission was to sell pills. I don't know where this guy came from. Like I said, it felt like he was a plant. Yeah. If I'm being real, it felt like he was a plant. Yeah. And he comes there with these pills, like all the opiate pills. Mm-hmm. And so I'm having all this teenage angst, the fear, the worry, the uncertainty. I've already experimented with alcohol, cocaine, and marijuana. Okay, well, what's next on the list? Right.
Let me try this this Loratab 1000. Let me take 2. Okay. That's what I've been looking for.
There it is.
That stopped. It was always like this heaviness on my chest. This heaviness that I couldn't explain. It was like a heaviness, but an emptiness. And it was, I guess, just a lot of angst. And then my head and my mind, the thoughts would constantly race. I could not stop it. It was, I don't do good on fear and worry. Like I try to escape that as much as I can. So when I found the opiates, I found the remedy for this and this. And I was like, okay, I found my thing. I found my thing. This is what I needed. I've been missing this my whole life. And I ingest them. And honestly, I felt something I've never felt before.
Yeah.
And I hit him up the next day.
Already.
The next day. I swear to God.
Already.
8 a.m. We are in the bathroom, and he's got a line of people. Just
What?
Yes. There's like 15 of us in the bathroom.
In school?
In school.
Damn, dude, that guy's ballsy.
Yo.
That guy's ballsy. They don't play around on like any campus.
No.
Yeah, any campus.
No.
Whether it's elementary, middle, or high school, college. They don't like that shit.
No. And I don't know how he
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And so, yeah. And then I started off with 2. All right, let's kick it up. 4 at once. You know, I'm feeling greater than I've ever felt in my life. Like some people talk about alcohol giving them, you know, the liquid courage, liquid confidence.
Yeah.
For me, that's what opiates did for me. Some people have a reaction of it makes them lethargic, sleepy.
Yeah.
Not saying I didn't also experience that as well, but like for the most part, it gave me energy.
Really?
I would take those and I would be ready to take on the world. It was like I had an S on my chest when I popped one of those, 4 of those, and I was in that mode, and I felt fearless and unstoppable and confident, and I felt whole. And I was like, this is what I need in my life.
Yeah.
And it stopped all the worry I had, and I just continued on the rest of my senior year, just partying, making these memories last, trying to make more memories, trying to hold on to these memories so tightly and so precious, because it was all I really had. And I didn't want it to go away. So it comes, it's about April of my senior year. We graduate in May. This is where I really like start to say, you know what, I might be actually an addict.
Okay.
You know, I might have a problem. Now, growing up, like I said, my family was in recovery. So when I got caught smoking weed, or my mom would see my eyes red, you know, she'd give me the speech, or I'd get in trouble, and then she'd tell me, hey,
'cause she knew.
She knew for sure. And she goes, hey, you know that you're what I am, right? You know what your dad is, right?
Yeah.
You're probably not going to be able to use successfully. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm sorry you couldn't use successfully.
Yeah, watch me.
But I can. See, this is what we're supposed to do. Like in high school, you're supposed to just party. And that's the mindset I had. So April of my senior year, we go on a spring break trip. Me and like 20 of my closest classmates. We all go to Mexico for spring break. Have the time of my life. Literally the time of my life. Drinking from sun up to sundown. Like me and my other buddy were hitting up the bag boy or the luggage guy to bring us cocaine. Like,
yeah.
So I'm trading some of my luggage for weed from one of the vendors.
God, dude.
I'm trading my luggage. I think I had a camera in there.
Look, gone.
And he gave me some of the most dirtiest weed ever.
Gone.
But I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
We're having fun. And
that's what you're supposed. I mean, not the selling your shit, but you're supposed to party, right? It's spring break. And
it's like, dude, I need weed, and I'm in a foreign country, and I don't know where weed's at. You got the weed? Here, take it.
Yeah.
Take it, because I need that. And oh my, you want to talk about brick? I've never seen anything like it, but you know, I was trying to create that experience.
Right.
So that lasts for a whole week, from Monday to Sunday. We get back Sunday night. I land. I get home. I don't even unpack. I get a call from one of my buddies who's like kind of like a neighbor, like a street or two down from my house. And he's like, hey, we're having a party out here. Do you want to come out in the and chill at this bonfire? I was like, sure, I'll pull up. I mean, a reasonable person would probably say, hey, you have school the next morning. You just partied from sun up to sundown all week. probably should go to bed.
Yeah.
I said, no.
Keep it going.
Let's keep it going, baby. Let's keep it going.
Keep it going.
I drive out there. I'm partying it up. And I'm about to leave. And this guy comes up to me. He's like, hey, I got these pills if you want some. I said, sure. I've already started experimenting with pills. What is this pill? Pulls out these peach Xanax. I said, I don't know what that is, but I'll take it. Sure. I like pills.
Yeah.
I like pills. It's a pill. Let's do it. I grab a couple of them. I'd been drinking this night as well. And I hop in my car. I pop them. And I start to drive. And it's about, from where this party, and we ended up going to this party at, was about 20 minutes away from my mom's house. And I'm driving. And I had no idea the effect that is produced from Xanax and alcohol.
Yeah, you're not supposed to mix that. You know, it says that on the prescription bottle, right?
Well, you know, these actually didn't come in a prescription bottle. They came in a little Ziploc bag.
Well, he should have kept the warning on there because it also says don't operate heavy machinery, and you could almost put your vehicle as a heavy machinery.
Yeah. So I'm driving, and I'm about maybe a mile and a half from my house. Now mind you, I have a system in my car. The system is at full volume.
Yeah.
I got two 15s bumping in my little compact car.
I'm about to put, that's a 15 right there. I'm about to put that in my car. You know.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We back.
Hey.
So you're bumping.
I'm bumping. And I'm a mile and a half from my house. And all of a sudden I start, I'm catching myself.
Yeah.
Catching myself.
Which is weird. Why don't we stop?
Right.
We think we could, we'll
make it. I'm almost there. I'm going to make it. Surely I'm not going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
But on that fifth doze off, I dozed off.
Yeah.
And as I'm driving, my car veers and goes into a ditch. I flip my car 5 times. Now I wake up and I'm flipping in my car. For some reason, something told me to put my hand on top of the ceiling of the car.
The roof.
I don't know if that saved my life or not, but I remember putting it to brace myself as I'm flipping, and I'm like, oh my God. It's like, if you've ever been in an accident like that, really any accident almost, time really slows down. It's it's very, very weird. And I land on all 4 wheels, and I'm trying to drive my car. Obviously, it's not moving. The thing is crushed. I get out. Miraculously, I do not have a scratch or a mark on me. I have a picture of the car. I'll post it sometime on social media. But I probably shouldn't have walked out of there.
Yeah.
And I start running down the street. And all of a sudden, a cop comes up because the ditch that I crashed into was like literally in front of someone's house.
Right.
So they called the police. I'm running down the street. Cop picks me up, and I'm booked for DUI.
Yeah.
So.
At 18.
Yes.
17, 18.
18, yep. Yeah. 18 years old. So now my car's crushed. I'm about to graduate, so we got the fear, worry, and uncertainty. Now I'm dealing with this legal ramification that I've never experienced before. So all these have created even a worse perfect storm. Like, oh my God, now what am I going to do? Now what's going to happen? You know, and what am I going to do from here? I lost my car. That sucks. How am I supposed to get around? I'm creating all these problems in my head and scenarios of what's going to happen from this, and you know what went wrong and where I'm not going to go, and that made it even that much worse. So now I'm more instead of 2 or 3 times a week. Now it's every day, and I go to I graduate in May, and once again after I graduate, a couple weeks after I graduate in May, I decided to have the idea again. I went and partied with the same people from April, from the first crash. I'm there partying again, and I said, you know what? I don't know what happened with that situation, but I feel like maybe that was just an accident. Let me try this again.
Same drugs.
Alcohol, Xanax. And again, I'm a mile from my house again. And I stop at this park There's a park that was in between my buddy's house, my mom's house, and then there's the park. I stopped there just to chill. I think I went to go smoke something. I was calling somebody as well. And I guess someone had called the police, maybe. I don't know. They seen me loitering or chilling. I don't know. I just know I hop in my car. I'm about to go home. And apparently there was 2 police officers behind me with their lights on, and I had no idea. And when I went to go turn onto my street, I swerved and I smashed into a tree. And yeah. And I get out of my car.
Come on, man.
Yeah. And I get out of my car and I look back and I'm like, where are these officers come from?
Oh my God. Damn, they're on me.
I had no idea.
That's wild.
They were behind me for a whole mile.
Jeez.
With their lights on. So again, I get arrested. This is now 2 DUIs in a month and a half period. Now I'm really like, oh my God, my life is over.
Yeah.
What is going to happen here now?
Yeah.
So I get put on probation.
Yep. Bound to happen.
And
it's funny too, the stubbornness, like you know, with your mom telling you, like, you know where you come from.
Yeah.
Trying to tell you have that genetic predisposition to drugs and alcohol, and you're like, no, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna do better. Yeah, I'm different.
I'm not like y'all.
And like the first situation, I mean, it's mathematical. You do one plus another, this equals that, and you're like, oh, no, maybe it will be different this time, but when you mix this with that, or just use these in general and get behind the wheel, it's probably not a good time. And you saw how it is an equation, always that same result, you know, but you think it's going to be different.
Right.
That's the fucking mind blowing. That's the epitome of addiction, in my opinion, is like that thought process. Yes, we're physically addicted to heroin or whatever, or Lortabs or Xanax, but that mental addiction is unbeatable almost, you know. And that's where it kills you.
I think I can do this. I think I can make it work. I'm different. No, you don't understand. Because I know what I'm feeling, and this makes me feel good. So if it makes me feel good, it's got to be okay. The accidents happened. You know what, I shouldn't have drank and took Xanax. So let's just cut that out of the equation, and I'll just do the pills. I'll just do the opiate pills. Xanax, okay, I learned my lesson. Discard you. Let's get back to these Lortabs, these oxys. That's where I should have stayed anyway, because that's what I needed anyway. So I get put on probation. Obviously on probation, you can't smoke weed. That was, again, still my main thing through all this. Like, if I could just smoke weed, I'm good, right? Now I can't do that. So I'm like, shoot. And I can't do that because I'm going to get drug tested, and, you know, weed stays in your system for a long time.
I feel that.
I'd already graduated. I lost connect with the pill guy that I met in my high school. So I got a buddy. He's like, hey, you know, give me some money. Remember those pills in high school? I was like, yeah, for sure. He's like, well, I got something that's a little bit better than that. I said, okay, bet. He goes and gets it, brings me back some heroin.
Oh shit! You just jumped up straight to heroin.
Straight to heroin.
Holy shit!
He said it was just like those pills we used to take, and if it's just like those pills, then I definitely want it. And it's better, and it's cheaper. Come on, man, let's go.
Dude, we had a guy on named Richie Fennell, who's one of my longest friends. I've known him since I was in like the 5th grade, and he got into a car accident. Well, he was on a motorbike, and he got he flew off his bike because he got into the wreck. Broke his leg severely, and they put him on medication, and he got addicted to it. And then I didn't really know like this was the turning point for him, even though I watched it all happen. I remember that phone call that I got, and anyways, he said that the pills were getting really expensive, and they were getting hard to find. And he was like, well, fuck, what's the best next thing? And it was heroin. And that's how I got hooked on heroin, was exactly like he said. I got something similar, check it out, and it's fucking heroin.
And you know, the person that actually, and I don't blame the person that introduced me to it, that it's not their responsibility, it's not their fault. I don't fault them or blame them for introducing me to it. As part of accountability, as a man in recovery, I can't blame anybody for my actions. So I don't blame anyone for that. Because then I also end up turning people onto the same substance as well.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, they were like, you know what? They didn't say heroin. They said diacetylmorphine, which is the chemical name, the actual molecule name for heroin.
Sounds like a setup.
I was like, because, you know, if you say heroin, that's a loaded word, heroin.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we ain't doing that. Diacetylmorphine. All I heard was morphine pills, morphine-based. Loratabs is basically a pharmaceutical grade of, offshoot of morphine. Okay, morphine. Fine. Okay, for sure. Now, if they would have said this, I'm not doing heroin.
Yeah.
My dad died from heroin.
Yeah, it almost gains your interest.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got that, snorted it, and
lifted.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to romanticize it or build it up, but you want to talk about curing all my worries and ills and aches. Now I really found it.
Yeah. Heroin will kill you, folks. Do not do fucking heroin.
Don't do heroin.
It's not fun.
Don't do meth. Don't do fentanyl. Don't do cocaine. Don't do any of that. Like,
go to church.
Find something. Find something.
Yeah.
Work out. Big flicks.
So now you're hooked on heroin.
Now I'm hooked on heroin.
How old are you? 19 now? At the time?
18 is when I first tried it.
Dude.
18.
I say fuck like that's crazy, even though I was also doing heroin that young.
You know, I still wasn't doing it every day.
Yeah.
I was, I started off snorting it here and there, Then once I got officially put on probation, my usage increased because, like I said, now I'm like, oh my God, life sucks.
Yeah.
So let me do more.
Because of heroin, life sucks. Let me just keep doing heroin.
So, and that continues on for a year. And as time goes on and progresses, I'm doing it more and more and more frequently. And then after a year of doing it, I'm like, all right, well, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Well, this is where we go. We start shooting it up. We start injecting it. And that's when it took off. When I put that needle in my vein, it took me to another world, another place that I had no idea it was going to take me.
Yep. I get it.
I had no idea it would take me to those places. And this has been going on since end of 2009. And I did this until October, November 2022. Now, there was very few periods where, like, if I was in treatment for 30 days or 14 days, I wasn't using then. If I was in jail for 30 days, 60 days, I didn't use then. But if I'm on the street, I was using heroin every day, and I was doing whatever it took to get it. Stealing from my parents, stealing from my brother, pawning everything, pawning my stuff, going to department stores and clearing out racks. Yep. Like, just insane stuff. Like, I mean, I don't want to get into too many stories about, like, just the criminal aspect of it, but just the things that I would do and how I would. You want to talk about mastermind? Yeah. I used to mastermind some things to get that. Yeah. And, like, it's really crazy. Like, there's times where I don't even know how I even was able to get away
from all that shit. Yeah.
Like, to come up, it takes a real determined person. When you're like, one thing about drug addiction, I will say, if you can take the hustle and the determination from how you go about using and getting it into your sober life. Yeah. Oh my God. And that's kind of the mindset I've adopted in my recovery and my sobriety. I'm a hustle like I'm dope sick, baby.
Yeah. And hustle like you're dope sick.
Hustle like I'm dope sick. Cause
you should coin that.
It's in the process. I'm putting that on a shirt.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Hustle like I'm dope sick. Yeah. Trademarked. But and that's just real, because I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah. No matter what, I'm gonna get at least $20, and as long as I get $20, then I can get right, and then I can go out and get oh my. Yeah.
So where does it really start getting? I don't want to say like bad, but because when did you get sober? What year? 22.
So my sobriety date is November 3rd, 2022.
Okay. So when did it start, like, from that date in 22, like, how far back did you really start seeing it was totally different than the plenty of years before with heroin addiction.
Yeah.
And like, where was the shift to where it's like that 22 date was, you knew you were going to be sober or had to do something serious enough to not go back?
I guess what it came down to, well, there's a couple different reasons. I had been, you know, I've been in and out of homelessness since 2014. You know, I'd have like 3 months on the street here. I'd be let back in my parents' house, stay there, get kicked out because I can't stop using. And they don't want it in their house, rightfully so. You know, back on the street, or, you know, I did all that whole song and dance, sober house after sober house. Like, I've been to so many sober houses. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess the point where it really turned was my heroin supply started running out, and it was replaced with fentanyl early 2022. So I started doing fentanyl.
Fuck fentanyl.
Fuck fentanyl.
Swear.
So I started doing fentanyl consistently every day. It was like a seamless transition. So I started doing that. Again, I'm getting kicked out of sober houses again and again. And it's just like, you know what? I'm kind of starting to get tired of this. Like, I'm tired of being homeless. Being homeless sucks. Especially in the heat in Texas.
Oh, you were in Texas at this point?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I've been in Austin, Texas since 2013.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my fault. I moved
What
to
made
Austin,
you come down here?
August 2013.
What made you?
My mom and stepdad, they just wanted to change. Mm-hmm. You know, the economy and everything was just sucking back in Michigan, and they wanted a new experience.
More opportunity.
More opportunity
for you.
Well, I initially wasn't supposed to come with.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they were gonna leave me there. No. We're trying to change our life.
Yeah.
You're staying here. No. I promise. Like, let me come with. I you know, this is what I need. If I was just in a different area, if I moved somewhere to have a fresh start, a new opportunity, I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna embrace it. Well, let me tell you, I had heroin waiting for me the second I touched in Austin. I'm not gonna tell you how I did that, because I'm not trying to
incriminate anybody.
Well, that, and I'm not trying to trigger anybody or give anyone ideas.
Yeah.
I don't even think, honestly, you could do this anymore because it was a different time period then. But
tell me off camera.
I will.
Now I'm interested.
Yeah. But I literally had heroin waiting for me when I touched down without knowing anybody or meeting anybody until I actually met the person.
Yeah.
By any lengths.
Yeah.
Any lengths to get high. So, yeah. So that new beginning and fresh start was out the window.
Jeez.
The moment I touched down. So yeah, and I didn't stop. I found a plug here, and okay, let's keep this thing going. Because, you know, now I use when I feel bad. I use when I feel sad. I use when I feel mad. I use when I feel glad. You know, like, I'm going to be a Dr. Seuss rhyme, but like, that's facts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what's going on, what it is. If I'm sad, use, let's make you happy. If I'm happy, use, let's make you happier.
Yeah.
You know? And that was my thing. So, yeah, I embraced the new beginning, but I was like, you know what? Heroin should probably accompany that so we can really, really embrace this new beginning. Yeah, really embrace it. Mm-hmm. You know? So, yeah, that's what I did. And I've seen every part of Austin, Texas you could imagine.
Right.
You know? So I guess going back forward to 2022, I'm doing fentanyl every day, multiple times a day. And I'm doing this, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just getting tired of it, because like I'm thinking I can use every day. If I try to like have set amounts I could do every day so I wouldn't be sick. I try to like almost keep it like a functioning fentanyl addict almost. Like I had a job. I'm in sober living even though I'm getting high. I managed somehow to stay in the sober living for 3 months, getting high, which is super disrespectful, and I do feel bad about that. But it was what it was, and I'm making it work somewhat on the surface, and then eventually it never ultimately works, because I'm gonna do more than what I'm supposed to, or whatever the case may be, and I'm getting sick, and I'm calling into work, so I lose the job. Now I'm having to go back to the street to get means to fund my habit. I'm staying out all night. So now I'm getting kicked out of this sober living again because I'm not making curfew. I'm just like, you know what, dude, I'm tired of this. So this was around October 2022. I was like, all right, let's try doing this sober because this isn't working. Like, we've been doing this 12 years now.
Yeah, it's a long fucking time.
Long time, and you know, I think I'm finally done. And so I was like, you know what? Let's be done. 2 weeks go by. I'm feeling okay. I'm like, okay, we can do this. And 2 weeks went by, and then that thought came into my head. The old famous words. One more time. One more time. I kind of miss that feeling, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it again consistently. I don't want to go back to it, but I wouldn't mind just doing it one more time. So that's what I did. One more time. Now, please understand, folks, fentanyl is dangerous no matter any amount. Any amount can kill you. Tolerance high, tolerance low. It's Russian roulette every time. Yeah. However, with that even said, the chances of death and overdose are so much more increased when you take a break after using consistently. Yep. And I kind of knew that in my head. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. But however, I never overdosed in my life. 12 years of using, never overdosed. So it almost gave me this false sense of like security, like I'm invincible. So I go to meet my guy. I get it. I go into the bathroom at a gas station. I do it, and 3 months later, I'm on the ground, and I wake up getting Narcaned by a paramedic, and that's overdose.
You said 3 months later? 3 minutes?
Oh, 3 minutes later. 3 minutes later.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm getting revived by a paramedic.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, I don't know what happened there, so that's probably shouldn't do that again. And that was my mindset. So I get another couple days go by, and I start thinking, you know what? I think that was an accident.
An accident.
You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. This is the theme. The Xanax and the accident thing. It was just an accident. It was a fluke. It was a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Let's try it again. Because one more time. Because I just want to get high one more time. I don't want to die one more time. I just wanted to get high one more time. Yeah. So 3 days later from the first one, I go to meet him, do it, overdose again.
Damn. Back to back.
Back to back. I said, okay, I don't know what's going on. So I think I'm finally done because I don't want to keep overdosing. Another few days go by, and I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to feel kind of withdrawal-y again.
Yep.
I'm starting to feel the icks again.
Change your mind real quick.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Let's put the pause on sobriety. And once again, I know what happened. I know what I did wrong. I did too much. I did too much. It was an accident. It was a misunderstanding. I'm going to make this work. I just got to do a little bit less. If I just do a little bit less, surely I won't overdose. So number 3, go to meet my plug. I go back to the sober house that I was staying at again, the new one, another new one. Mm-hmm. And it's 11 o'clock at night, and I go in the bathroom, and I do it a little bit less. And once again,
overdose.
God, dead on the bathroom floor of my sober house.
Fuck.
Luckily, one of the other house members came in there to use the bathroom and saw me on the ground. And I'm Narcaned again. This time I had vomited in my lungs. I had vomit in my lungs. Aspiration pneumonia is what they call it. And I get Narcaned again. And if you ever been Narcan, it's the weirdest feeling ever.
I've never been Narcan.
It's the weirdest.
But I hear it is not fun.
I've never experienced anything. Like, my whole body was vibrating and pulsating. It felt like a sonic boom was hitting my brain. Yeah. I was so disoriented. I'm so cold and shivering, and I'm like, I'm lost. I'm like, what happened? What happened? And I'm getting took out of my sober house on a stretcher from the same paramedic as the last one. And the only thing I could say to the paramedic was, hey, did they say I was getting kicked out?
No.
I did. Did they say I can come back? I don't think you're going to be allowed back, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So I go to the hospital. I'm in there for a day. I get out. I'm homeless again, scrambling to find another sober living. Because I'm going to make this train, I'm going to make this last. I don't want to be homeless, so I'm going to do what I got to do to get through it. So I find another sober living that takes me. And this has been like a week and a half process. This has been like 3 overdoses in a week and a half. So I get settled in this sober living, and I'm starting to feel fine. I'm inspired and willing because I don't want to die, so I think it's time to fully let go. But I fully didn't let go. Once again, the old addict mind creeps up and says, I know what I did wrong. Not only do I have to do a little bit less of the fentanyl, I just can't shoot it up anymore. I can't inject it. I got to work my way back into the old game again. I can't just start off shooting up again after taking a couple week break. I got to ease my way back into it. I just want to get high one more time. And I wasn't able to get high one more time. I just died 3 times.
Right.
I want to get high. So I'm going to snort it. Surely you can't overdose from snorting it. How crazy is that thought? So, number 4. Leave the sober house. I go and meet the plug. Come back to my new sober house. I'm in my room. It's like 7 o'clock at night. I snort it. And I don't remember anything after that.
God damn.
I just remember getting woken up and Narcaned again by one of the housemates. I look up and he's like, yeah, I heard you fall and hit your head on the dresser I hit my head on the dresser. He's like, I heard you hit something. And so we came in your room and you were passed out. I'm like, there's no way. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. There's no way I just overdosed. Yeah, you did. Damn. And I'm on the phone with the owner. He's like, yeah, dude, you're going to have to get out.
Yeah.
You got to go, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, dude. He's like, you need to go to the hospital and get checked out and make sure. Because the EMT did not get called for this one because I know I was brought to, I guess, in time. Mm-hmm. But he's like, yo, you should probably go to the hospital. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. Well, I ended up walking to the hospital from where I was at. I walked to the hospital. Still had fentanyl on me. I'm in the hospital and I'm fucking dipping my finger into the bag of fentanyl and I'm snorting it off my fingertip while the nurse is typing up my information. Because I want to get high again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, surely I'm not going to get overdose after I just overdosed again. I didn't at that time in the hospital. So they released me. And again, I find another new sober living. This is like 3 sober livings in a 2-week period. I go to this new sober living. I'm there for a day. I move all my stuff in. I'm excited. I'm ready to change my life. But there's no action behind it, just the thought. And the next day, Sunday, we have a house meeting. And I take a piss test. And after I took the piss test, I pissed clean. Something said, you know what? This is your chance. This is your chance. You're not going to get piss tested again for a couple of days, probably. If you're going to go get high, you better go do it right now. Right now.
Right now.
And I know what I did. This is once again, I know what I did wrong. First, it was, okay, injected it. All right, inject a little bit less. Okay, don't inject it at all. Just snort it. So number 5, I said, I know what I did wrong. I got to snort just a little bit, dude. Just snort just a little bit. Get it in your system. Get the juices flowing again. You know, I'm determined to make this work. I'm determined not to die. I'm determined just to get high that one last time. So I meet my guy. I'm at Rumberg and Lamar. I go to the McDonald's bathroom on Rumberg and Lamar. It's like 10 o'clock at night. When I tell you I snort just the smallest line, just the smallest amount. I think that smallest amount took me out quicker than any of the other times.
Knocked you down.
I'm face down in the McDonald's bathroom. The cleaning lady finds me somehow at the last minute. Again, I vomited in my lungs again. So this is twice now I vomited in my lungs. The 5th overdose in 2 weeks. The second coming in almost back to back. And the paramedic from the 2 other times comes in. So he's now found me 3 of those 5 times, the same paramedic. He comes in, he says, dude, when are you going to get this?
Yeah.
He's like, don't you know you're going to die from this? And I just look at him like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm in the hospital for 2 days, hooked up to an IV, monitoring me, make sure there's no infection building up in my lungs. And I'm laying on that hospital bed, and that's when it hit me. I said, dude, you're going to die from this. And it was like time and reality. It just smacked me in the face like never before. Like, yeah.
And you cared this time.
I did.
Because you knew. You fucking OD'd.
I'm going to die, dude.
Yeah, you OD'd 4 times before, faced with death, which is a ballsy thing to be right back in that position. I think it's crazy that we just put ourselves right back there. But this time you cared.
Yeah.
This time you're like, fuck, maybe... Like, how many of these do I got left?
Right.
You cheated it 5 times in 14 days.
Yeah. And I'm laying on that bed, and I'm thinking about the last 12 years of my life and to where I'm at now and all the things I'm missing out on, the things I'm not a part of, the dreams I gave up on, the potential I threw away, the memories that have now turned nothing but despair and hopelessness. Family doesn't want me around anymore. Friends don't want me around anymore. Relationships are non-existent because I can't have one unless it's toxic. I'm getting kicked out of sober house after sober house. I'm now 32 years old and I have nothing to show for it but 7 rehab trips, 5 overdoses, 12 years of complete heroin abuse, homelessness, just broken dreams, broken everything. And I said, I can't do this anymore. I've always knew I had potential to be something better. And I could never break away from the chains of addiction and the allure that is heroin for me. The remedy that it was for me. I never gave myself a chance away from it to see that the possibilities could be different. And I said, you know what? All right. You got me, God.
Right.
You got me. I'm done. I left that hospital bed and I spent the next 5 days at an Austin Motor Inn. If you guys are familiar with that hotel here or motel here in Austin, it's not the best place, but it was all that I had money left for. Yeah. And I spent those next 5 days withdrawing from fentanyl in a bed in a shitty motel for 5 days, just wrapped up in a blanket. And only thing I could think of was, you just got to make it, dude. You just got to make it. Just keep on, dude. Please hold on. We just got to get through this. And I told myself that. And after 5 days, I call up one of the sober livings that I'd already been to 2 previous times. Mm-hmm. And I said, listen, man, I need one more shot. I'm done. I need one more shot, please. And I went to that sober living. I was able to piss clean. That's why I stayed in the hotel for 5 days as well.
Because you had to piss clean.
I had to piss clean.
Yeah.
There was no faking it this time. I can manufacture a positive UA or a negative UA on this one. Plus, I didn't want to. I was done.
Right.
And that's really the key. I had to fully surrender and let go. And not only that, I had to accept. That it was over. It's over. Your heroin career is done, Jacob. It's like a football player trying to retire, the love of the game.
Yeah.
The love of the drug.
Hang it up.
It's time to hang it up, dude.
Hang it up.
It's time to let go.
Retire the number.
And I did.
Yeah.
I did totally and completely. And when I got into that new sober living, I said, this is the start of my new life. And I had a clear vision in my head. I had clear goals, short term, medium term, and long term, of what I was going to do, how I was going to do it, and I was going to make it happen. Well, 16 months later, every one of those goals I made happen.
Yeah.
Every one of those dreams is starting to unfold. 16 months sober, talking about a guy that could never get longer than 30 days sober. Right. And you had to put me in an institution to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get sober. I love getting high. I love the crazy lifestyle that come with it in a weird way. I just wanted to feel okay. That's all I ever wanted to do, was feel okay and feel whole inside.
And how did you start feeling that in sobriety? Because, it's always the shakiest, right? Is getting adjusted to actually being on the new path of recovery.
Yeah. I just totally bought into it. I gave myself to a simple program, and I embraced it. And when I speak of that vision, it's so important to have a vision of what you want your life to look like. Even if you don't have a clear idea, for me, it was very clear. I knew what I wanted. Maybe some people may not know what they want to the T or to the degree that I did. But you got to have some type of vision of what you want your life to go and look like. And that's what I did. And I fully embraced that. And I did whatever it took to get that. And I started going to meetings. I got a sponsor. And yeah, in the first 90 days, there was thoughts. I couldn't go into a bathroom without thinking about getting high. Yeah. I'd walk in there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, I could see myself using in here.
Yeah.
This is a nice bathroom. Got the quartz countertop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see myself getting high in here. And no. Remember, Jacob, we want to do something different. Remember, Jacob, you're headed to better life.
Yeah.
We're doing this differently. I don't want that life anymore. And I would have to remind myself every day, sometimes every day, there were certain things I couldn't do. I couldn't listen to certain songs anymore for a while. I couldn't go around certain places for a while. I would drive down the north side and I would see places I would use at or be homeless at and go, oh man, I kind of miss that. What am I thinking? No, I don't miss that. And finally, I worked my steps, and after battling those thoughts with positive, affirmations and positive thinking and keeping that vision alive, the thoughts went away. The emptiness inside started becoming whole and full, and it was around 6 months that it was like a complete change. The psychic change had been made. The spiritual experiences happened. Life had really began taking shape, and I stayed focused. I put my head down, and bad things did happen early in recovery.
What happened?
I had a girl leave me at 90 days.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the story.
Yeah. This woman that I thought was going to be my ride or die. You were there through the worst times, and then now I get sober and you're going to leave me.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I
was crushed. Like I said, I'm about loyalty. And
everyone else should be. For
real.
And everyone else should be. Yeah. But it is those moments though that you need to experience sober. Because that's where you find, and I'll just say it like this: that's where you find God. Yeah. Whatever that means to you. That may be like a more interconnected version of yourself. Yeah. Whatever God or spirit or whatever that is, that's where you find it, dude.
Yeah.
The good stuff is great. I love the real high highs. They let you see that this is possible and this is where you want to be. But when you're low, when you're in the trenches, that's where it will shape you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's where it'll shape you. It's just like working out. You know what I mean? You don't go to the gym and do a couple reps because I want to give up in the gym, bro, all the time. I want to give up. You know, unless I feel like I'm about to hurt myself, like I keep going because I know that's where peak gains are going to be.
You know, there's real growth in uncomfortability.
Yeah.
I learned more from my losses than I ever did my wins.
Seriously. I knew I could do it with my wins.
For sure.
But I knew I could really do it with my losses.
You know, and it, like, for me, like I said, that I can't stress about that, having that vision and setting goals. You know, with my sponsees that I work with, the first thing I have them do, I don't have them read out of the book. The first thing I have them do is I said, I want you to write down some short-term goals. It could be anything, reading a chapter a day, making your bed. Some medium-term goals, getting a job or getting a license or getting registered for school. Long-term goals. You got to have that vision in place, because then when you start hitting the small-term goals, you build confidence. Mm-hmm. When you build confidence, you go, oh, gee, I guess I can do things. I can complete things. And when you do complete something, there's a release of dopamine in your head of, I completed something. Mm-hmm. Now you feel like you can do something else. Oh, I did that. Oh, okay, I can keep this again. Now you're getting back in a rhythm. And when you get back in a rhythm, you start developing consistency. And now that you're seeing that you can do this, you get the confidence, like I said, and then you start building that discipline. And then the discipline helps you hone in and keep that consistency to stay in that. Then you move forward. Then you start building up, leveling up. Now you can accomplish anything. I believe that mindset shift, you know, when you really change that mindset, anything is possible. And when you back that with with a program that I chose to work, 12 steps, that helped me heal in here and rethink up here. But I kept that vision alive because I retooled that mindset of, I want something different. I want to be something. I can be something. I am different. Oh, I do have a messed up story. There is a lot of shame, guilt, sadness. But you know what? I'm going to own that story. I'm going to rewrite that story. I'm going to share that story, because now that messed up story I had, 12 years of just utter shame, embarrassment, just nothing good. Now I can share that, because now I have a testimony, because look at what I'm doing now. And I share that, and I share it loud, because we're talking about a guy, like I said, that never thought, didn't even want this to be possible. Yeah. Knew it could be. I knew it could be. I mean, I've had examples my whole life of what recovery looks like, and the great life that could come with it. But I never gave it a shot. And when I tell you, life is amazing. It's nothing like I thought it was going to be. It's better.
Oh, for sure.
It's better.
Yeah. Well, I think a part of that too, number one, it's math. All right. You change your mindset, you stay disciplined, you stay consistent, good things are going to happen. Yeah. You're going to grow. It's math. The same way that when you mix Xanax with alcohol and get behind the wheel, you're probably going to roll your car or hit a tree. Yeah. You know, this is just math. But I think the other thing too, with the growth that we have to have is a growth that most people never even think to experience or get on a path to experience. You know, most people, I guess, just go through like your normal life, you know, and I'm not knocking that at all, because there's plenty of special moments and growth opportunities, and everybody has their own story. Yeah. But it was life or death for us. Yeah. We had to look inwards, which is foreign to a lot of people. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's blame other people and just keep moving on, or my job sucks but I'm still here, and like all this, you know, where's the growth, you know? And we were forced to grow in a very short amount of time and expected to do so still today. Or, you know, maybe we're not gonna have the best quality of life, and if we don't have the best quality of life, we might get high, just maybe. You know? And so I think when we talk about the reality of our situation today, and you know, life is something I never could have imagined. Well, most people fucking can't. Yeah. because I could be anywhere in the world. I could be in sober living. I could be in a nice house that I bought, or in a whole nother country or state. And like what always travels with me is the internal work I've done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, and
it's kind of like your heroin. You know, you took heroin to meet you there to embrace that new beginning. It's like you're taking your internal spirit, God, you know, Jacob work with you to embrace what's coming.
Yeah. And, you know, the greatest gift of this program for me is, like I said, I'm able to share it and give it back.
Yeah.
And that's all I try to do, is be a voice, be a messenger, of that this is possible. And that's why I put it all out there on social media. I share my story through the various avenues I have.
Yep.
Like, I shouldn't be here right now. And I've built myself back up. You know, I got the music career going off again. I host a co-host a podcast. I manage a sober living. Do you know how crazy that sounds? The guy that's been to 15 sober livings now manages one. I'm a district member of a 12-step program here in Austin. Do motivational speaking engagements. I go speak at treatment centers. But most importantly, like, I'm here to be of service any way I can, however I can.
Yeah.
And when I get that call, or when I get someone's hand extending out, wanting help, wanting to be pulled up, I promise you, I'm going to pick up that call if it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or 7 a.m., or 11 o'clock at night. For that person that's got their hand extended out, my hand is still there waiting right now, waiting for you to reach, and we can connect, and I'm here for you. Because I remember when I was 6 feet underground, basically, with my hand stuck up from the ground, just, someone help. And the hands that were extended out for me got less and less and less each time. I don't fault them, rightfully or wrongfully so. But I do remember the few people's hands that were still there every time.
Yeah.
And I never forgot that. And I always remembered that. And I carry that in my life. Always be of service. And in this program and in sobriety and recovery, I found my purpose.
Yeah.
And what is purpose? Being of service. Sharing and building a connection with somebody. Seeing someone recover and change their life is the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed. And I just get to be a part of that if I'm able to. It's not anything I've done. I get to share that experience with somebody, whether it's directly or just sharing life space with them.
Yeah. And everyone's purpose is going to be different.
Yeah.
Some people just want to get in tune with themselves again.
Right.
Or for the first time, you know, and get back with their family.
Yeah.
That's okay too.
You got to find your own purpose and define your own success.
Yeah.
I think those are huge, because if I'm trying to live someone else's purpose, or trying to measure someone else's success and put it into my life, I'm going to be let down every time. I got to be comfortable with me, because I got to know what I'm doing is right. And I got to be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
You know, that vision of what you want your life to look like.
Yeah.
And in recovery and staying sober, I truly believe you can do anything you want to.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I mean, I experienced that firsthand, you know, just like having an idea, walking the path to achieving those goals, and, you know, like the confidence that came from all of that is unfathomable until you have it, you know. And I see it in other people too. I've had plenty of conversations with others about what they want to do with their life, you know, and just kind of put my hand on their shoulder and say, do whatever you want, you know, because you can. And I promise you, and I'm watching people do it right now that are, you know, especially like when it comes to career stuff, you know, and they got to go to school and it's tough, and I'm watching them go through it, you know, fully, watching other people like move to a whole different side of the country, and get a plan together, you know, because they can. And there's no one I can look at and think that they can't do it.
Right.
You know, there's a won't do it, you know, which is a decision. And that's the interesting thing too, that you were talking about was, you know, it's not necessarily about choosing to do drugs or not to do drugs. You know, in my opinion, I think a lot of the times, especially in early recovery, you're going to default to just back to no choice. The decision you make is what path you're going to be on, to have the byproduct of either sobriety or active addiction, and the choice gets made for you. Now I know that's not everybody, but for somebody like myself, it's still on the forefront of my mind that at some point, if my life got low enough and I didn't want to do anything about it, I'm probably going to go get high.
Yeah.
And I don't know how well I'm going to be able to manage that. You know what I mean? It's still very scary.
Yeah.
And so it's about making the right choice, not get high or not. Because if it was that easy, we'd just say no.
Right.
But it's about what path do you want to be on, and that you really want to enjoy the fruits of that labor.
Yeah. I just know also for me today, I really take pride and appreciation in my recovery and in my sobriety. I can walk down those same blocks that I used to get high on and not be fazed. I can go perform at South by Southwest where the whole room is marijuana smoke and I'm the only sober individual there, because I take pride in my recovery, because I'd be damned if I let it go.
Yeah.
And there's too many people. This is also why I share my story. Somehow I got spared.
Yeah.
I should have been dead.
You really should have.
And there's certain people that don't get 5 overdoses. They don't get 3. They get 1 and they don't come back.
Yeah.
And I refuse to let my existence be in vain by not using my voice, a platform, anything to share my experience, strength, and hope, to offer my support, my love, my encouragement. I refuse to let that be in vain of my existence.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here.
You got saved by someone having to take a shit. You know what I mean? Like, what are the chances? Yeah. You're going to waste that?
Oh, man.
Come on, man.
Shouts out to that McDouble.
Yeah. It lined up, I guess, a couple times, in McDonald's.
I should have died in that car accident.
Yeah.
Like, I've had so many close calls, and it's like, God's like, dude, hello.
Come on.
You're here for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. And other people need your help.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I get to show up today. I get to be a messenger today.
It is something, dude, to think about, like, how fulfilling it is to help people.
It really is.
Because you go, whether it's your purpose or not, it's fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
You finally have something to offer.
Yeah.
You feel valuable. You have lived experience. You have knowledge. You have direction. You have somebody that could benefit from what you're trying to tell them.
Yeah.
It's math. Again, dude, it's always going to be about math.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, growing up, I never really was any good at math. You know? So that's probably why the equation didn't come out correct. But,
yeah,
did a little studying and some more
did
studying.
some studying and
failed a couple tests. And,
yeah.
And lastly, I also want to say, we all have a voice.
Yeah.
We all have a story. We all have experience. And whether you want to use it to shout off on a mountaintop, or whether you just rather keep it to an intimate setting, whatever you choose to do. Mm-hmm. But I do think it's important that you share your story, your truth, your experience, and lift up your voice in any capacity, because all voices matter.
Yeah.
All stories matter. And you never know what your story is going to resonate with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Dude, my buddy hit me up and he was like, you're an inspiration to many, this and that. And I told him, I said, I just need to be an inspiration to one. That's it.
Power of one.
That's it. I don't care who it is. You get inspired, you change your life, and I die tomorrow. Yeah. I'm glad, that you were affected in some kind of way by just my life and my voice, That's all you need, man. You just need one. Like, who would have knew your ass would fucking be such a presence in the Austin recovery scene? It just takes one. Yeah. And you affect many. And everyone does, I'm about to have a guy on right after you who moved completely out of state, and that guy has touched so many lives. Yeah. He's been here for over a decade, and he helped me in the very beginning, and, he's an inspiration to many. And it's like, just need one. Yeah.
Well, and also the power of one, because that one person you reach is you never know what they're gonna do. They may meet get married.
Yeah.
They have kids. Their kids have kids. Their kids have kids. You just impacted a whole generation and line of people off one person.
Yeah. I was listening to this book when I was driving to Louisiana for spring break, and it's called The Power of Intention. It's pretty cool. And he talks, one of the faces of intention is kindness. Yeah. And he wrote this example of kindness in play, where someone paid the toll bill for, the lady that was behind him.
Yeah.
And she didn't pay for the person behind him, which, it didn't continue, right? But what she did was call her friend in a whole other state, like Kansas or something. And she was like, oh, wow, that's a neat idea. And the lady in Kansas then paid for everybody's toll bill, or the person behind her, for like months or something like that. It's like, I bet you that guy who just paid that one time for the lady behind her did not think that his kindness would travel all the way to Kansas and then affect so many other people. Right. You never know. You never know, dude. And you don't have to worry about it either. Yeah. You just got to be yourself, your authentic self. Yeah. You are well. Everyone's always going to be welcomed exactly how they are. Yeah. Come as you are. And there's faults. Yeah. All of us. Yeah. You faulted. Me too. Yeah. Me too. But we're here. Yeah. We're here.
What we can't do alone, we can do together.
Amen, dude. You need that community. Put yourself in the herd.
That's been a big saving grace for me.
Yeah. Community. I don't care what your recovery path you're on. Abstinence-based, 12-step based, you went to religion, you're in harm reduction, whatever, marijuana maintenance, I don't give a fuck. Right. Go be in a community, man. Yeah. Yeah, you got love, right? Yeah. Because you will be alone. Yeah. No one likes to be alone. No. I don't care what you fucking say. It ain't better than being in a community. Right. Well, cool, man. Well, I appreciate you sharing your story. Man. J-Kline the Mastermind. That's what we call him. Go check out his podcast. Two Addicts and a Moron. Two Addicts and a Moron.
On YouTube. Man, Tyler, I appreciate you so much, man. I'm a big fan of his podcast, the one we're on right now. Shout out Getting Sober Young. Just amazing things. I got a lot of love for you, appreciation for you, inspiration as well to me. So I'm super grateful for you. Grateful for your friendship as well. Also, got new music on the way. J-Kline, the Redemption tape is coming soon. New singles are about to drop. The Redemption tape, baby. It's all about redeeming yourself, man.
That's so sick.
So a lot of big things happening. So I'm just grateful to be here and be a part of it and share my story.
See what happens next.
Stay tuned.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you.